What happens when you truly trust God? Most people imagine trust as stepping back and letting life do whatever it wants. It sounds humble, but that isn't trust, that's resignation. Real trust makes you peaceful and purposeful at the same time. It doesn't switch your brain off or your hands idle. It teaches your mind to think with God and your hands to work from rest. It doesn't deny reality. It sees reality through the eyes of faith. When trust matures, you don't abandon responsibility. You live responsibly inside God's will. You still move, plan, and act, but your steps are anchored in peace instead of panic. That is spiritual maturity, not having every answer, but resting in the one who does. Trust begins when you stop trying to control God and start walking with Him. Before, you built plans, drew timelines, and pushed outcomes as if everything depended on your force. When it slipped, your body tensed, your prayers became demands, and your peace evaporated. When trust takes root, you change seats in the story. You are no longer the driver squeezing the wheel. You're the companion learning the rhythm of the road. You still lead, but you no longer force. You still set goals, but you leave space for redirection. You still speak, but you learn to pause before you answer, to respond instead of react, to send a message that builds instead of one that wins an argument. Every small surrender trains your soul to move to a better tempo. Anxiety begins to lose its voice, one quiet choice at a time. In that rhythm, you learn the difference between effort and strain. Effort is healthy, it grows from purpose and gratitude. Strain is heavy, it grows from fear and pride. Trust doesn't make you lazy, it makes you honest. You work hard without chasing validation. You give your best without bargaining for applause. You move from proving to partnering. The problem didn't vanish, the panic did. Obedience stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like partnership. You begin to notice subtle fingerprints. A verse that glows at the right moment, a pause that saves you from a mistake, a conversation that gently redirects your path. People who rush miss these. Those who walk with God learn to notice, smile, and adjust. This change humbles the ego without erasing your identity. Your talents remain, your drive remains, your dreams remain, but now they belong to a larger purpose. The less you try to make the story about you, the more you find yourself living stories worth telling. The fewer doors you force, the more the right ones open on their own. You stop gripping the wheel, and somehow the road ahead looks clearer than it ever did under your control. You dedicate the day to God, handle what's in front of you, pause when you need wisdom, and keep gratitude close. No magic, no guaranteed ease, just a lighter soul and a steadier step. You are no longer fighting the current, you are learning to swim with it. One breath, one prayer, one quiet yes at a time. You begin to walk in harmony with the one who has always known the way. Trust also re-educates your thoughts. You stop treating every delay like a disaster and every twist like a threat. Things don't always go wrong. They often go different, and different is where God does His best work. Trust doesn't erase reasoning, it renews it. Your mind shifts from worry's voice to wisdom's voice. Peace is no longer measured by how much you can predict, but by how much you can perceive. You start noticing how the job you didn't get protected you from a path you weren't built to carry, how the delay taught you a skill the quick route never would, how the silence forced you to grow deep roots you would have avoided in the noise. These aren't random. They are reminders that God sees 1,000 moves ahead while you're staring at the next square. Thinking with God's perspective doesn't mean smiling through pain or pretending everything is fine. It means you look through storms instead of drowning in them. You begin asking different questions. Not, why is this happening to me? But what is this shaping in me? Not, when will this end? But who am I becoming through it? Wisdom isn't the absence of confusion, it's steadiness inside it. People who don't trust react from fear. People who trust respond from alignment. You think slower but deeper. You learn that waiting isn't wasted time, it's training. God uses waiting rooms as classrooms. Those who see through his eyes stop pacing the floors and start paying attention to what he's forming. As this perspective settles, daily life turns lighter. You still plan, but you don't panic. You still care deeply, but you don't collapse. When things shift, you stop trying to predict the whole story and start participating in the chapter you have. The pressure to have every answer fades and is replaced by a quiet sentence that calms the storm within you. Even if I don't know yet, he does. That is the seed of the peace that surpasses understanding. It isn't denial, it's clarity anchored in God. Wisdom doesn't rush, it roots. It doesn't feed fear, it silences it. When your thoughts begin to mirror his, anxiety loses its grip and hope takes its seat. Trust then teaches you to release outcomes. One of the clearest signs that your trust has matured is when you stop tying your peace to results. Before, your joy rose and fell with the scoreboard. When outcomes favored you, you exhaled. When they didn't, you questioned everything. As faith deepens, you discover a stronger rhythm piece that remains when the picture is unfinished. You still care about what happens, but you no longer let results decide your rest. You give your best and leave the rest with God. That isn't apathy, it's spiritual maturity. You hold every dream with open hands. You stop insisting it must happen this way and start praying, let it happen your way. You still plant, water, and wait, but you stop trying to control the rain. The moment you release the illusion of control, fear begins to lose its vocabulary. You remember that you were never appointed to manage the universe. You were invited to trust the one who sustains it. Peace stops being a prize you earn and becomes a presence you choose. You notice it in small scenes. The meeting that didn't go your way but didn't ruin your day. The plan that changed but didn't steal your gratitude. The prayer not answered yet that still ends with, "Thank you." That isn't detachment, it's alignment. You stop demanding that life fit your script and start believing that God writes better stories. This kind of release changes how you face uncertainty. You stop begging for guarantees and start asking for guidance. You stop asking, "How long?" and start praying, "How can I honor you here?" That single shift moves you from frustration to freedom. The waiting season stops feeling like a penalty and starts feeling like preparation. God often finishes the person before he finishes the plan. When outcomes are surrendered, your soul breathes. You celebrate without fear of losing, endure without fear of failing, work with excellence without carrying the weight of worry. You love fully, even if it isn't returned, because your reward isn't in their reaction, it's in your obedience. Calm isn't passivity, it's peace in motion. You still act, but your actions inhale grace and exhale trust. If it's meant for you, it will stay. If it isn't, you are still safe. That confidence isn't from indifference, it's from dependence on the wisdom of God's timing. From here, your steps take on a new quality, calm conviction. You stop sprinting ahead in panic or dragging your feet in fear. You walk with a courage that doesn't need noise and a strength that doesn't need to shout. You don't have every answer. You finally know who walks beside you. Trust replaces frantic motion with focused direction. Decisions stop being exams. You can fail and become conversations you have with God. You speak slower, listen longer, and react less. The urge to prove fades. The need to defend dissolves. Fear asks, "What if I'm wrong?" Faith answers, "If I miss it, he can redirect me." That sentence snaps the chains of perfectionism. You don't need flawless steps. You need faithful ones. Challenges no longer feel like punishments. They become places to practice trust. You respond instead of react. Others panic. You pause. Others push. You breathe. This composure isn't personality, it's presence. When you know God is with you, you don't rush to secure outcomes that are already safe in His hands. Your peace becomes contagious. Your steadiness anchors rooms. Even failure feels different. You stop treating mistakes as verdicts and start seeing them as lessons. Detours no longer define you, they develop you. Success stops being speed and starts being steadiness. The world admires those who climb fast. Heaven strengthens those who keep walking faithful. Then something beautiful happens. You begin to receive what grace already arranged. Trust turns life from a race into a rhythm. You stop chasing what isn't yours and start recognizing what's been waiting for you. What belongs to you doesn't need to be forced. It arrives wrapped in peace, not pressure. This doesn't mean you sit back and expect blessings to find your couch. It means you build diligently, without the desperate energy of trying to make everything happen. Grace doesn't respond to panic, it rests on alignment. As your heart aligns, you look back and see the wisdom in closed doors, the protection threaded through delays, the lessons carried in endings. You stop comparing timelines. Another person's pace no longer defines your progress. What's late for you may be early for them. God's story for you requires cooperation, not competition. There is a lightness that moves into your days when you stop forcing things. You wake up ready to give your best, but the fear of missing out no longer stalks you. You thank God for doors that didn't open and for strength that did. You find yourself surrounded by the right people, the right opportunities, and the right lessons, because you've learned to flow with grace instead of wrestle against it. You no longer demand signs at every corner. You enjoy the unfolding. Every delay begins to hold purpose. Every no protects a better yes. Every waiting season hides careful preparation. Blessings that come through trust fit better, last longer, and carry peace instead of pressure. You realize you didn't lose control, you gained clarity. You weren't falling behind, you were falling into rhythm. And that is what Jesus promised when he said, "Seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added." It's not a formula, it's a flow. You stop chasing what fades and start receiving what remains. You don't force the blessing, you become the kind of person who can carry it. Trusting God completely won't guarantee an easy life, but it will give you a steady one. When you let Him guide the rhythm, peace becomes a foundation instead of a feeling. You stop manipulating what only grace can move. You begin to see that real strength isn't holding everything together. It's resting in the hands that never let go. A fully trusted heart lives lighter. It doesn't waste energy fighting seasons or fearing change. It moves with clarity, courage, and calm. You still dream, plan, and act, but each step is anchored in faith rather than fear. You understand that even when things unfold differently than you imagined, they still unfold for your good. That truth won't make you careless. It will make you confident. Perhaps this is your invitation to let go, not to quit, but to believe differently. Stop managing outcomes and start partnering with the one who holds them. Stop fearing the unknown and start resting in the all-knowing. When you truly trust God, life may not get easier, but it becomes clearer, lighter, and far more beautiful. You begin to notice that every step, even the uncertain ones, has been leading you somewhere sacred. And one day, when you look back, you'll see it was never about what you achieved. It was about who you became, walking in step with the one who has always known the way.